We are going to have a chat about Halloween Horror Nights, our memories, our favourite houses, and much more. You are listening to episode 426 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. It is Lee. As I keep saying, Horror Nights may not be going ahead. It kind of is, but not really. It's not going to stop us talking about it this week again. It's no exception. We are going to talk about our favourite houses and memories and stuff, and of course, I cannot do it on my own. So joining me is Tracy.
Hello everyone.
With a big smile on her face, not quite sure why. Chris.
Hey, what's up?
And Michelle.
Howdy, howdy.
We've all done our prep.
Yes, we have.
Well, we have.
Of course.
Yeah.
Tracy was sat next to me when we were doing ours, so it was
Obviously.
fine. As I was telling Chris and Michelle before we started, Tracy and I have watched walkthroughs of every house that we've been to, which wasn't that many in fairness, having only been for 3 years. But I just thought, we've never actually just had a round table chat about Horror Nights. It's usually very specific, so I just kind of wanted to just have a chat between us Horror Nights fans and talk about our first times and our subsequent times and our memories and why we like it, honestly.
Yeah. Pull up a chair and let's listen to Grandpa talk.
An interesting question. Well, we'll get there, actually, because I'm interested in Chris's opinion on this and Tracy's, because me, Chris and Tracy are very much the same when it comes to Horror Nights. Michelle's very different. But
Did you have
Why am I different?
because you get scared, we don't.
Chris doesn't ever get scared either?
No.
Kind of dead. I'm dead inside for the most part. to be
And
honest.
that's the interesting question. So anyway, that's what I thought we'd start off talking about when we first went and like what we thought. Why? Chris, when did you first go?
2003.
Have you been going every year since then?
17 years strong, buddy.
Jesus.
Wow, that's impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's a little hard for me to say, oh, my favorite one, because
Yes.
everything just kind of blends in, especially with all the alcohol. You know how it is.
Because I assume through those 17 years, you did every house. There isn't a house you've missed at any one point during a year.
I would say like 99% yes. There could have been like 1 year that we went like years ago, like towards the beginning, where we just didn't do it because, we didn't have express passes. We were just broke college kids.
Mm-hmm.
And the lines were hours and hours and hours long.
Yeah.
And we just ended up missing one or something like that. But if you told me to name it, I would be lying to you right to your face.
It's crazy to think how many houses you've done then. Like not in total, but just how many different houses you've done over 17 years.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
And Michelle, you've been going since what, 2015?
2015, so 5 years. And it sucks because I totally could have gone to all the years because I'm a 7-hour drive from the parks. But one, I didn't know about it. Two, once I did know about it, I was scared of it. And now I love it. And I'm kicking myself for not going more often. But
I love how Tracy pulls the face of like, it's just a 7-hour drive. For us over here, a 7-hour drive is like, nah, you're all right.
Actually, you'd be in the water if we drove for 7 hours. Would have driven off the end of England.
well, for me, 7 hours might
Maybe
sound
not.
a lot, but it's not when you are in all these groups
Yeah.
of people that don't get to go more than
Yeah.
most of them don't even get to go down to Orlando once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel really blessed in the fact that I am only 7 hours away. So I guess it's
Yeah.
all perspective. But
Absolutely.
the point being, I could have gone to all of them and I just didn't. And that sucks.
It's okay.
But now I love it.
You'll go to the next 30 of them.
Yes, sir. Only 30? How old am
Oh.
I?
Well,
I just killed you off way too soon. Sorry.
You
That was a
totally
really
did,
good
damn
house
it.
that year then.
the saddest thing talking about this right now is if anyone listening to this podcast the week of release, Tracy and I should have been over there doing Horror Nights. Now, as this comes out on Tuesday, we probably would have been to 3 nights already.
Yep. Thanks, Rona.
And instead we're not.
Well,
I've talked about before, our first trip, or our first Halloween Horror Nights was 2004. And I remember nothing of it.
remember 2 houses.
Well, we tried to find some videos online, and there's a few.
Not a lot though, but it was a long time ago.
And even the bits we kind of watched, it's like, I do not recognize any of it all. It's weird. I think I've said this before. Like, that was our first visit to Orlando and the first time we'd ever been to Islands of Adventure at Universal Studios. We went to Islands the day before, and then we went to Horror Nights opening night on the Friday night, and we'd spent the day at Universal Studios. So we didn't know the parks at all. And in my memory now, from the memories I have of being at Halloween Horror Nights, it doesn't add up to how I know the parks are. Like, when I remember things being in a certain place, I go, they can't be, because it's not like that. It's so
what
weird.
you're saying is you don't remember things as they were.
Yeah.
And your brain isn't perfect.
Well, we talked about it, didn't we, with them?
When you tell me that you remember things in our arguments.
The Midway of the Bizarre Scare Zone that year was in front of Rip Ride Rocket, and we both talked about it. I can't remember what was at Universal before Rip Ride Rocket was there. I have no mental image in my head of what that entrance, like where the
Starbucks probably,
where the stage in that is now.
I don't remember what was there.
Wasn't that the Boneyard?
But I don't remember it.
I remember the Boneyard.
Oh, okay.
I remember that. Lee doesn't. I remember walking around that.
The first time I ever went to Universal, I was a child, and there was no Islands of Adventure, and the parking lot was City Walk. So yeah, my brain is totally messed up with my first trip.
You just get like dropped off on the front and go park the car.
I can't imagine what it must have been like. Like, our whole experience of going to parks has always been City Walk as it is, and Islands of Adventure, and we've never known any different.
No.
But then to look how much it's come on since then, with Volcano Bay and the extra hotels and all the rest of it.
It's nice to see how it evolves and grows. But we only ended up at Halloween Horror Nights because you, as part of your research, stumbled across it, didn't you?
Yeah, I was like,
by accident.
This looks awesome, because we had nothing like that over here. And I found it, and I think it was $85 a ticket for opening night. And I was like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's like I think it worked out something like £120. And it was one of the guys at work was like, that sounds awesome. And you're quibbling over 120 quid when you've already spent $4,000. And that I was like, yeah, you're kind of right at that point. So we booked our tickets, and it was awesome. We made all the rookie mistakes.
Of course we did.
We went and got our, well, I was like, oh, it's a horror event, it's a Halloween event, we need to wait till it gets dark. So we went and got something to eat and wait until it gets dark, and then realised now that you've lost sort of an hour or two of prime Scare Zone house time. We did we rode Spider-Man, we did The Mummy, and we did Poseidon's Fury.
Yeah.
And we got our faces painted. So there's probably another hour.
During Horror Nights.
Horror Nights?
In fairness, Poseidon's Fury wasn't open during the day at 2004.
That's true.
It was only open during Horror Nights.
Poseidon's Fury was only open during Horror Nights?
Yes.
That's weird.
I did not know that. Look at that.
Yeah. But like I say, we'd never done anything like that before, because it wasn't a thing over here. It's only just really a thing now.
5 or 6 years?
Yeah.
So you guys didn't have like haunts?
No,
similar to that?
Nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
No.
We're only just starting to get to that level now, really.
It's only maybe in the last 7 or 8 years people have started decorating the houses, and even then it's just a few things up the window.
Yeah, well, Halloween's not a huge deal over there.
No.
Like in general as a holiday, right?
But it was.
We always
were
did
kids.
Halloween parties and stuff as kids, but it was never all out for it.
Yeah, it was never like full street. It'd be like, we'd get dressed up with our black sacks and cardboard witches' hats, carve our turnips.
Yeah, turnip.
Yeah.
But it's not like here where the government gets to tell us whether we can trick or treat or not. Okay.
I don't know what's happening this year.
Well, unless I can get hold of a tube, we are turn the lights out.
I'm just going to pee out the
To be honest,
letterbox.
there's plans in this village anyway. So, but moving on, because it's not a village.
Something stuck out. Did someone say carve a turnip?
Yes.
We didn't. Yeah,
We
we
didn't have pumpkins.
I want to make sure I heard that right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you think carving a bloody pumpkin's hard work. You would try a rock hard bloody, a Swede actually, because they're the big ones. A bloody Swede. My mother used to carve it out with a candle in it, and you'd walk home going, I'm starving, it smells of stew.
Oh my God, I just Google
it's
search
very
this. This is
strange.
hilarious.
Wow.
It was a jack-o'-lantern, but made out of a turnip.
So the question for you two then is, how did you first hear about it and what made you go?
Well, mine was I heard about it because I became a travel agent. And I had to learn about all things Universal. So that's when we kind of first heard about it, was through that training. I'm sure I'd probably seen ads before, but again, I'm a big chicken, so I wouldn't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. But I had no choice in my training to learn about it. And then we had the opportunity. We were down there with a couple of other travel agent friends for Disney, and Robin actually convinced me because we were going back and forth. Yeah, we were going back and forth about trying it because we didn't know how to sell it, obviously, because we had never gone. And I was like, I want to go, but I'm afraid. I don't know. And she felt the same way. And finally, she was like, all right, that's enough. Let's just do it. So we literally went on and bought our tickets. And on Darren's advice, because I wrote in to you guys and asked you guys an opinion on how to do horror nights the right way. And I don't remember exactly what my question was, but you guys answered my email and I was so excited.
Wow. You're easy pleased, all I'll say.
It never answers my emails.
It's crazy. But Darren mentioned that you have to buy express passes. So we bought the damn express passes and glad we did because we only had one night.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And I was hooked. So that's how I started.
I would love to have seen you go through that first year because if you're as bad as you are now, I cannot imagine what you were like going through it for the first time.
I had no voice. Literally, I'm not even kidding. I had no voice the next morning because I screamed so much.
What did you scream at if you couldn't see anything because your eyes were closed?
I probably screamed more in the scare zones than I did in the houses because you're right. My eyes were closed in the houses.
She used to feel like little strings on the roof.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can still feel things and you hear loud noises and, so you still scream. But then in the scare zones, they know how to target you. And they could tell I was prime meat, so they came after me left and right.
Yes, we know. There's plenty of pictures at our RIP tour when we were having our food in Cafe La Bamba knows that the scare actors know who to target.
Oh, yeah. Always.
It's the best thing to watch.
And it was even worse my first year. So, but it was a blast. It was absolutely awesome. So that's my story.
Cool.
Yeah, mine, I think mine was just like a coming of age story. I don't know. I had just turned 18, graduated. And
made me feel really old.
You are.
The year was 2003. Man, what a year. No, I mean, I had been going to the parks forever. Since I was a little kid, my parents would always take me to Disney and Universal when, that came around. And but I'd never been to a horror nights before. I've heard about it before when I was getting, in my teens, but my parents weren't really big on Halloween. They weren't against it. They just weren't big on it. Yeah. So it wasn't like a thing we would go do. And it was also, it was a little more expensive, right? Because you gotta buy a ticket on top of that. And, money's a little tighter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, it was that year I had graduated. And I think, I don't know, it's just me and a couple friends, probably 4 or 5 of us went and basically said hey, let's go up. And one of my friends had just went up to UCF, the college over there. So we're like, oh, we'll make a trip out of it. It wasn't even the focal point of the trip. It was like, oh, we'll go do that. Sounds like fun. Went and did that. And I mean, from that trip, I was hooked.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously. But the weird thing is my love for horror nights kind of has changed over that whole time, right? Because going back then, it wasn't so much for the scares and all that stuff. I liked it, but I went with a bunch of friends. I'm still friends with some of them now. And Horror Nights became this yearly event for me where it was we get together with friends, we go up as a group and we just laugh and we have a good time. And I don't know, it just it brings this group together and you have this cool weekend trip that you do. And it evolved to us, we got, I think the group up to 15 people once. Wow. Where we just started renting. Yeah. It's not like that anymore at all. Cause people get old and disappear. But, back then we would rent a house and do this whole weekend thing. And we didn't even go to the parks during the daytime. It was just, we'd go up there, rent a house, hang out in the pool all day, blah, blah, blah. And then go to Horror Nights at nighttime and then come back. And that's it. That was the trip. And it was fun. And I just enjoyed, like I said, the scares and having friends around. And then obviously over the years, I got more into the actual event, caring about what the houses were, the story, because I wasn't huge into that. It was cool, but I didn't take, I wasn't a theme park nerd back then that I am now. I love theme parks, but I didn't go into the detail of, look at this effect here, look at that effect. I'm like, oh, that just popped out and scared the crap out of me. Cool.
Right.
but over the time that I've been going, it's obviously evolved, and then it turns into, the first blog post is out, and all the friends are like sending to each other, oh, look at this story, and we read the story, and it just kind of evolved from there.
Yeah, it's changed a lot. Like I say, we were watching videos, Tracy, and we were watching, I think it was Hellgate Prison.
Yeah.
Was one of the ones the first year. And off the top of my head, I can't remember exactly what was said, but we both looked at each other a couple of times with some of the sound bites that came through that house, and we were like, yes, Horror Nights has definitely become a little bit more family friendly than it was back then. I can't remember. Do you remember there was two bits where one of the prisoners said something? It was like, "Oh, that's a little, yes, a little."
That's not Disney.
No, not at all. Like watching back the videos from the houses last year, I didn't realize there was at least two instances in the Stranger Things house where they said, and it's jarring because they censor a lot of the swearing at Horror Nights. You think any of the music that's played during any of the shows, it's all censored. So then to hear that in one of the houses was quite, I don't remember hearing that when I was going through it, but...
No, yeah, me neither.
Well, try being literally there for a Disney event and spending all your time at Disney with Disney people, and then going out of the blue to Halloween Horror Nights, being incredibly shocked, every aspect of it, not just the cussing, but, the lack of clothing on some of these actors, and the fear factor and the gore and the alcohol, and drunken people everywhere. And it was quite a shock. Of course, now it's all, it's all part of it and it's fun. But definitely a shock to the system if you're a Disney freak.
See, we've never had that issue, like drunken people. I've never noticed it. And when we came over with the kids in 2015 and we'd heard that it was worse than ever, so we were quite worried with Jade only being 11. And we never saw anything.
No.
Me neither, but I was probably that drunken person. Maybe that's why, I don't know.
Probably were. I remember in 2016, that was the first time I took Audrey, who is my older daughter. At that time, she was 16 because she was born in 2000. I remember literally there being a drunken girl who was probably underage, to be honest with you. At least she looked like
that
it.
Surprises me.
Sitting on a curb, and she was acting so stupid. I mean, just stupid. And I just remember telling Audrey, see, that's what happens when you drink. That's what you look like. So I used it as a teaching experience, but I've definitely seen my share of that stuff. But then again, I'm really not around it very often. I don't know if, not that you are, but I guess maybe I see it a little bit easier because it's not really ever part of my environment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I definitely have seen like people that are drunk there. I haven't seen it to be an issue. Like I've heard of stuff when I'm there, or maybe saw like a police officer or something take somebody where they're like, oh, we had to escort this guy out because he went and hit, tried to swing at somebody inside the house. Something like that. I've never had it be an issue where it was like a deterrent to me. I didn't have a kid with me, of course, so obviously different. But yeah, I've never seen like something like that happen. I have had, so like I said, we used to go in large groups, and we're actually like decent people that go out. So we don't have any crazy stories of like, oh, this person fought with this person, anything like that. But I will say, I've always been like, I've always told people, especially, way younger, and then younger people would come like, hey, like, if you're not 21, like, don't try to drink in there because I'm telling you, Universal has the best security team ever. One year, many moons ago, one of my friends, her younger brother was there, and I think he was like 20, like 19, 20, something like that. And he just we were like by the front area. We all, got our wristbands and stuff. And she had her drink. He literally just went over the shoulder, like real quick, and like took a sip. Oh. It was like a second long. And they, out of nowhere, this like really like short kid, like looks like a kid, I thought it was, walks up, puts his hand on his shoulder. He goes, hey, let me see your ID. This is undercover. Like they have so many undercover cops there that are dressed as park goers, and like that look really young. So you would never suspect them to like being anything like that. And they kicked him out like right away. Like the event just started, kicked him out.
Yeah, he'll have been trespassed I know it happened to somebody as well, one of our listeners from a long time ago, and they got trespassed out of the park for like a year.
Yeah.
Yep, that happens for a year, and they take your picture, do all that fun
Yep.
jazz, and they won't even. One other story, and this is the last one. So, like sometimes before when we would go over there, we would pregame. And when you pregame, the drinks over there are expensive. So it's
Yep,
like,
they
we're
are.
broke college kids. Let's get a little juice inside the system now. So we pre-gamed, and one of the friends that were with us, he just went through the whole game, just straight through. He did the post game.
Wow.
He did everything. And so pretty obliterated. And they not caught him. Like, he was with us, but you can tell he was like out of it, and it's 6:00. Okay.
Yeah.
And security like saw it in City Walk and was basically like, gotta go. And so
Wow.
they didn't get kicked out of the park, but they were not allowed entry into the event because
They were
visibly drunk.
Yeah.
So it was, and that was a huge like bummer on the whole thing, which I always tell people, like, go have your drinks. Like, I drink when I'm over there. Obviously we did like last year when we were all together, but just do it responsibly. Like, don't be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Just go have fun, go grab some drinks, go try your stuff, but enjoy the event and don't get crazy with other people, and because you will get kicked out.
Yeah, and if you go and get absolutely bladdered, you've spent a fortune on those tickets, and you're not going to remember it. You're not going to enjoy it. It's going to be a mess.
No, but by the same token, Universal are not going to risk any licenses or any fines or anything like that, and I stand behind them with that. It's their livelihood. It's their business.
Well, Robin and I, that first year, because we were such chickens, we kind of got in this habit of warning the people in front of us before we, like right before we went in the house, just letting you know, I'm probably going to touch your husband. I don't mean anything by it.
Wow.
That's the trick. Hey, just so you know, I may grab your wife.
Oh, yes.
Just so you know.
Wait for it.
Hang on. Michelle, you didn't actually afford me that courtesy. You just touched him. It's all right. You could have him.
Well, I had my hands on both of you guys during the houses, so
it's getting worse. It sounds horrendous. This is not how it sounds.
Might be.
At least we were fair during the time we were there last year. But anyway, so we were courteous about it. Excuse me, nice lady, but I'm probably going to inadvertently grab onto your husband's back, and I just want you to know this. And one of these times we were in a house. I don't remember which house it was for, but there were these younger boys in front of us, but they looked college age. And we told them, hey, we're probably going to end up, hiding in your backs at some point. They're like, oh, it's fine. No worries. So we go through the house. They're laughing at us. It's all good. We get out of the house. We're doing the post-house laughing and let down. And they're like, oh, that was great. That was hilarious. And then they're like, hey, do you guys mind going and buying us some of those blood bags over there?
Wow, because they were only 12.
We felt like pedophiles, first of all.
R. Kelly over here.
Wow.
And yeah, we were floored. No, we're not going to do that. They tried their hardest to get us to do it, and we wouldn't do it. Thank God, because they were probably undercover cops just testing us.
Oh, they might have been, yeah.
After hearing Chris's story.
Could have been, yeah. They're everywhere, and they look like 12.
It was not my best moment, I'll tell you that.
So, okay, I'm going to throw this out to Chris and Tracy first, and me, because like I said, it's different. So we don't get scared. So what is it about the event you love?
Attention
Tracy,
to detail. It's all the little things that the majority of people miss because they're too busy hiding the faces or screaming and rushing through. But because I don't have that fear, I'm not wondering what's around the next corner, I get to look at the small details. This is how I notice things like tortoises instead of turtles. I am never ever letting that go.
Oh, she commented when we were watching the Monsters House Hour walkthroughs last night.
Yeah.
She said, I quite enjoyed that house if it wasn't for that bloody tortoise.
Poor tortoise drowned. But no, for me, it's because I can appreciate those fine details and appreciate the work that's being put into it. So, okay. And I like to see other people themselves as well.
Yeah.
It's not nice when you get someone screaming obscenities in your ear. Michelle.
Sorry about that, Lee.
It was literally the first word you said through Yeti. I'm not going to repeat it, but it was one of the worst ones you could use.
It was the I'll go ahead and tell you.
Maybe that's the soundtrack you were hearing, not the actual one. For me, I go back to kind of what I said earlier. So in the beginning, it became this thing of like started off just being with friends, right? And we just had a good time out there. We would make jokes and we'd have a lot of fun. I know this sounds insane, but like you'd be in line for hours.
Yes.
And so we would just like talk and make jokes, and I don't know, just you made these memories and you're just cracking up over nothing. Like, your stupidity when you're 20 years old and doing that stuff. And that was the initial draw for me. It was like I turned this into an annual thing with the friends. Like I was literally the spearhead on this. It's like, hey, August is coming around and who's in? I need to see how big of a house we get, this, that. So like, it was just that was the draw for me initially. I also I think Tracy said, I love seeing other people get scared.
Yeah.
Like I love that. Like me and Alexa will just sometimes just sit and just watch, people in the scare zone. That's fun for us.
Yes.
I'm glad I'm so entertaining to so many people.
I love it. Yeah. Robin too. She's great to watch. But the initial draw was just kind of that going out and seeing, obviously something really cool, really different. We didn't really have, at least I'm trying to think back, like locally, we didn't really have anything like that high end. There was sometimes a haunted house that would pop up here or there, but it was just like really low budget,
Yeah.
It's just there to get a yell out of you, and that's it. So just like I said, that friend making memory experience at this event and talking about it, and also like the other thing for me as well was which is funny now that I say this, but the IPs would bring me in.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. So I think there was something there that I loved. Like Saw, I was like, that was one of my favorite movie franchises of all time. Like I loved. It wasn't Halloween unless there was a Saw movie coming out.
Fair
and it was
enough.
like one every year for 7 years.
Because there's 100 of them.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they were doing it there in the parks, it was like, oh my God,
yes.
I get to go see this in person.
Yeah.
So, and that's just one that comes to mind. I'm sure there were plenty of IPs that came out in between that time frame where it was like, oh, I love this. So let's go to the park and see this happen, live.
Because that's weird though, because you started going, you went the year before us, and the year we did it, there was no IPs. So we fell in love with the event. And for you, it sounds like the same, but then it was the IPs after that drew you in.
Exactly. Yeah. The initial year, like I said, it was one of those, I had just turned 18. I just graduated. It's like, oh, I'm an adult now. I'm going to go on this trip. I'm a man. I'm going to go on this trip. And I'm going to bring my friends with me because I have no idea what I'm doing.
And then peed his pants all the way through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird because I've talked about it with people at work, and it's like, you must get scared. And I'm like, I don't get scared. And like, and so they'll ask, why'd you go then? And I'm like,
Good question.
Why do I go to a scare attraction to not get scared?
It's for the slight possibility that someone can get you. Like I've never gotten scared in the like that horrorness, like the horror part I love. And the only time I get like a scare or like a jump out of me is like if somebody catches me on a good jump scare out of a corner and it's like a giant guy in a bear suit or something like that. Like, oh, wow, that's awesome. You got me. And that's like, they got me, guys. I made the event happy for me,
Yeah.
I think for me, it was, like I said, there was nothing, we'd never done anything like that before. So then going and doing something on the scale of Halloween Horror Nights being our first ever haunt was like, that is amazing. I want to do that every year. But that was our once in a lifetime trip.
Yeah.
We never ever expected to get back.
No. We came on booked up immediately, of course.
Yeah, and went back 6 months. Went back 6 months later, literally. So I fell in love with the event from day one, and I was so desperate to get back. The first time we took the kids in 2009, we actually arrived on Halloween, and I remember walking into Port Orleans French Quarter, and someone had a Halloween Horror Nights t-shirt on, walking past, and I was like, Horror Nights is going on now and we can't go.
I remember you saying it. Yeah.
It was killing me. So then when 2015, we were supposed to be going in the summer holidays, and it fell through because of Raymond's GCSE results. We're like, I still want to go this year. The only holidays left October. What a shame. Let's go to Horror Nights.
Darn.
And took the kids for the first time, and it's like, they do what Universal do best. Like Tracy said, the attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the originals or the IPs, you are walking through some of the best set-wise haunts that you will ever walk through.
And for something that's temporary, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
We
You're
will
right.
get onto that later when I talk about my favourite house. But Michelle, for someone who doesn't really like horror films, scares the crap out of them when she goes, why do you still continue to go?
It's kind of a conglomeration of everything you guys just said. So it's amazing every year, no matter what. I'm creating these incredible memories, no matter who I bring with me. So the first year it was, me and Robin, and we had no idea what to expect, and it was incredible. The next year I took Audrey for the first time. It was amazing. Year after that, it was me and Audrey again. That's one of the only things that she and I do together ever, that we have fun and don't ever argue. So that's always fun. The next year after that, it was, I guess it was Audrey again. Anyway, it's, I was going to say it was the Weekender. Yeah, but then we had the Weekender. So it's, no matter what my crowd is, it's a fun time. I'm also a big fan of theme parks at night.
Yes.
And it's not super often that theme parks stay open that late, 11 o'clock is usually like the cutoff point for Disney parks. So the fact that a theme park stays open until 2 a.m. is incredible. And it's just a totally different atmosphere. It trips me out how I can be in the park all day long and there's families everywhere and, crying babies and everybody's having fun, but a different type of fun. And then I leave and I go back and it's like a totally different place. So it just feels exclusive. It feels different. There's a whole vibe to it that's just exciting where you don't know, yes, I do get scared. So I can honestly say, I don't know what's going to come at me from around each corner. Even if I do technically know, I still somehow, it still gets me. And that's that adrenaline rush is really addictive. But I think more so than anything, it's just that I always have a good time. Always, no matter what, it's always a good time. I can leave at 2 a.m. My feet, I can't feel my feet. I feel like I need to crawl back to the hotel. I have no voice, but it was the best night of my life.
And you'll do it again the next night.
Yeah. I have to say
Amen.
That I think our RIP tour last year, we left our hotel room at something like 9 o'clock in the morning. We went back at about 4 for maybe half an hour or so. Mm-hmm. We got back to our hotel room at just after 3 the following morning. Is probably the longest theme park day we've ever done.
So it's funny you say that. 17 years doing this. That night has been the worst my feet have ever felt ever at a theme park. I literally thought I needed a wheelchair to leave. I didn't know how we were going to finish that night.
I was all right. It was just my back.
No, I was dying. I was.
It was my back, not my feet.
No, my feet were gone. But it was the best night ever.
How our tour guide was not hurting at all, I have no idea. He acted like he was fine, whistling a tune, walking out. The rest of us are barely moving, trying to get to the end of the park.
Rich was awesome.
Yeah.
It was.
Rich.
I mean, we've had two of the best RIP tour guides so far. Tyler, a shout out to Tyler and Rich. They were amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Again, we could talk about this all the time, but we have to move on. It is time to take a break to pay the bills. Pay Michelle. And we will be back in a second.
Have you taken a stroll down Diagon Alley and visited Gringotts Bank? Taken a ride through New York with Jimmy Fallon? Visited the Truffler Trees in Zeus Landing or hung out with a real-life Transformer? No? Then what are you waiting for? At Universal Orlando Resort, there truly is an option for everyone. Or if you're leaning a little more towards pixie dust rather than ones and portions, Disney destinations around the globe await your arrival. No matter the adventure, our sponsors have you covered. Be sure to let the experts at Mouse Muggle Travel Company take care of all your travel needs. Earning the distinction of being an earmarked agency specializing in Disney destinations, as well as becoming one of the first to be named a U-Preferred agency with Universal Parks and Resorts Vacations. Mouse Muggle Travel Company will ensure you receive top-rate customized service. Just visit mousemuggle.com to fill out a non-obligation quote request, or send your request to info@mouseandmuggle.com. Their team can take care of you no matter where in the world you go. With a flick of their wand and a little bit of pixie dust, the process will be so seamless, some might even say it's simply magical.
Welcome back, everyone. We are discussing Halloween Horror Nights. We've talked about our memories and some interesting stories and stuff from previous visits. Let's be honest, we could probably talk for another hour just on
I feel like you just said something similar, just before the break.
But we're going to move on to houses specifically at this point, and our favourite houses. And I did invite the listeners to share some of theirs first off. So, Tracy, would you like to read Cody's favourite house?
I will indeed. Hello, team. I've only been going to Halloween Horror Nights since 26, so it doesn't mean too much, but my favourite Halloween Horror Nights house of all time is Dead Waters at HHN 27. Walking around the corner and seeing the massive boat made our jaws drop, and the simulation of walking on a bridge over water and alligators was outstanding. The rest of the house is phenomenal as well, with the bayou village and swamp sequences. This is a very tough choice between Dead Waters, Graveyard Games and Yeti.
Dead Waters is something I would have liked to have seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was actually one of my top houses on my list.
I think we're going to have a lot of similarities.
And the other two weren't bad either.
True.
Right.
We might
Dead
talk
Waters
about
was
them
really incredible, though. That scene that he was talking about where you first walk in and you see an actual boat in water. You're like, what?
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene in there where you're walking and it's like the walkway is tilted.
Side, yep.
Yeah, so like you feel like you're falling into like alligators. It was crazy. Loved it.
This is the thing that goes back to what Tracy said, that these things are temporary, yet you walk into some of them and you're like, how is that just a temporary structure?
Yeah, especially that boat. I mean, it was a giant, it felt like it was just a regular giant river boat.
It did. It was incredible.
This is what it kills me to think some of the houses that we've missed that you will never, ever get to see. Ever. That this event, they've only ever done one house as is twice, and it's just crazy to think if you didn't go that year, that's it. You're probably never going to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Go on then, Chris, give us your favourite.
I don't like this title of my favorite because there's a lot of awesome ones. I was leaning towards Dead Waters, to be honest with you. It's funny that the first one we talk about is Dead Waters, and Michelle even mentioned Dead Waters, but that one's really up there for me in reference to just the set piece alone. Like, even if there was like no story, the set alone was out of hand.
Amen.
Going back, I mean, thinking aside from like the regular ones that we've talked about before, I would also say like I was a huge fan of Walking Dead years ago.
Okay.
And when that came around, I loved the house. Like, and that's just because I felt like I was inside the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that, again, story aside, it's Walking Dead. But just being able to feel that in there-ness of a movie, like you felt like you were on set at some points.
I can imagine that first year it probably was when it was at its peak and everyone loved it, and they didn't have that Horror Nights burnout of it being there every year.
I'm not sure if it was the first year they did it or the second year, because again, I haven't seen the show in forever, but the year that they had it with the jail cell
must have been season 2, so that'll have been the second year it was there then.
Yeah, that one blew me away just because a lot of the show was like set inside of that jail.
Yeah.
And like the set piece that you saw there was just, it felt exactly like the show. So there was nothing crazy going on, just loud alarms and a couple zombies here and there. But just being able to walk through that for me was such an awesome experience. And again, it's not a top house by any means whatsoever. But for me, it was a memory that stuck in my mind. I just never was able to get rid of that.
Was that the one where you walked through this long, it felt like forever, corridor, and there was nothing but again, eyes barely open, so it felt like pages on the sides of you, but it was really narrow, and it felt like there were hundreds of damn zombies reaching for you, and you couldn't get was that one, or was that a different year?
I think that's a different year. Yeah, no, I don't think it was that same one. The jail. That area right there, it was not very crowded. It was a kind of wide open space. It was weird. But no, I think that was a different one.
It must have been a different one. I just remember like I couldn't get away from them. They were above me, below me, grabbing at my feet, reaching down towards my head. They were everywhere. They must have had a lot of scare actors on duty that night because it was nuts.
It's got to be better than the one at 25 because that was, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say it was terrible.
Whoa!
Wow, it must have been really bad.
It was god awful. Watching the walkthrough again 2 nights ago, Jesus, it was horrible.
It was bad. That was bad. And by that time, it was already, in my opinion, just dead in the water. No pun intended.
Is that what you're going for then? Dead Waters, Chris.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot for Dead Waters because, like I said, it's the most vibrant and one I can remember the most from recent memory. So we'll go with that.
It is definitely
Yeah.
one I would have liked to have seen.
You would have loved it.
Yeah. Me and Tracy said this before. I know Darren's become a bit jaded with Horror Nights and stuff over there, but me and Tracy have always said, I don't care what houses they put in. I'll go. I'll have a blast because it's Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there'd be stuff you get more excited over and stuff that you'd be less excited over, but it wouldn't stop me. Like, we've never gone and not gone through every house.
No.
Every night. There's never been a point where we've gone, I won't bother doing that house again because it was crap. We'd still go through every house multiple times.
I've got a question for you then. So if they did a year that was the worst house from every year previous,
Oh, that would be awesome.
would you still go?
Yeah, it'd be awesome. I think that would actually be really fun.
Okay.
That would be funny. That goes off the back of what we said if they did a year of bringing all the best houses back. Yeah.
Everybody always goes that
You
way.
gotta suffer through the worst to get to the
That would
best.
be actually quite interesting. But who would choose that? It's not the creative team. They're not going to be honest and say these are the 10 worst houses we've ever done.
No, I know.
You know, just grab an average of your least wait times ever, and there you go.
I don't think
There
that
you
always
go.
necessarily gives you what the worst house is. 25 Run was probably the one with the least amount of weight,
love
and we
that.
loved Run.
Yeah, you're
It's
probably
so
right. 'Cause
subjective,
Stranger
isn't
Things,
it?
the second one was really high,
It
and it
was
was pretty
terrible.
terrible.
Sorry,
Hey,
Michelle.
hey, hey, watch your mouth. Watch
The first
your
one
mouth,
was
Christopher.
amazing. The first one was the best thing ever, but the second one left me sad,
Aw.
man.
Chris, would you like to tell us what Claire's favourite house was?
I'd love to tell you. So Claire says, American Werewolf in London, 2013-2015. Amazing sets and so authentic to the movie. Love the whole, quote, London, underground, and the cinema scene. Got plenty scared there. Fantastic makeup and Muppets used.
Muppets?
Massive
There was no Muppets in there, Chris.
Muppets.
Muppets.
Now there's
Well-
a Horror Nights house.
Yeah.
That'd be
Could be
cool.
fun.
Massive fan of the film, and the house did it justice. Don't think I'm alone in thinking that.
I was incredibly let down with American Werewolf in London at 2015. When they announced it for 2013, at the time it was my favourite horror film of all time, and I was like, I cannot believe that I'm not going to get to see it. And when they brought it back for 2015, I was like, yes, I can't believe that the only time they're ever going to bring a house back. It's my favourite horror film at the year I'm going,
Yeah.
and it was so reliant on timing. And we run through that house at least 4 times, and I never got a single wolf
Yeah.
through the entire thing.
I think
I must have
one.
gotten them all because they scared the crap out of me.
Because watching the walkthrough, if you hit it right, those, like say, those werewolf puppets are amazing. I don't think I
Yes,
saw
they
one.
were.
I don't think I saw one
Yeah.
in action.
I saw plenty. But how many times did you do it?
We went to at least 4 times.
Yeah.
And you got a bad run every time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is the thing I think sometimes with Horror Nights. You could go through, let's talk about Nightingales for last year. We went through Nightingales first night and we're like, it was all right. We went through it one of the first houses the second time we went through it. And I don't know whether they got a double casting or what, but holy crap.
Yeah.
We came out like, Tracy and I like buzzing off the back
Yeah.
of it. Jesus, that was amazing.
Yeah. It was a lot more intense.
So it's very much that. I mean, don't get me wrong, set-wise, it was fantastic. It was the perfect rendition of American Werewolf in London, knowing how much a fan Mike Aiello is of that movie.
Yeah.
It was exactly what you wanted it to be, but just I got 4 bad runs through it.
I mean, there was some absolutely gorgeous sets in there, but it was just missing those puppets. I think I hit one. Well, I didn't actually hit it, but you know what I mean. I think
You gotta go through with the Muppets. Those are better.
Yeah.
I was disappointed didn't have the actual film on in the movie theatre later.
Do you know, thanks, Chris. Now I'm literally in my head. I'm walking through American Werewolf in London with Fozzie Bear.
Waka, waka, waka.
Turns out he's a bit of a wuss as well. Seriously, that's what. What?
Go on then.
Go on. What?
Your favourite.
Favorite?
And don't, because I know we've had conversations about this in the last couple of days. Don't kill me. Don't
You mean
steal
don't-
mine.
What? Hey, you should answer yourself first.
No, because I don't want to feel like I'm stealing the limelight.
It's very, very close between 2. Very close.
I know what one of them is.
What's one of them?
I'm not going to say because it's probably mine.
Well, my kind of like, it's not even like 1.5, it's like 1.1.
Right.
It's that close, like 1.0.
This is killing me.
I'm not sure what this one is.
But I can tell by the look on your face. It's Asylum in Wonderland.
Do you know, I had a feeling you were going to say that.
That absolutely blew me away. But I'm a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland, if anybody didn't know. And the fact that you walked a journey, you walked a descent into madness.
Yeah,
and the second I walked in, I was like, oh, I know where I am. I knew where I was in the book and everything, and it was perfect. You know, the fact that it was a 3D house as well. I absolutely adored that.
That's the first time we'd done a 3D house.
And it was done so well. The overstimulation was perfect for that entire theme and scene. It was
awesome.
It was awesome.
I
I think
loved it.
it's one that didn't get a lot of love at Horror Nights 25 either.
I don't think people understood it. That's
I'll be
the
honest,
problem.
I didn't until you explained the story to me. I didn't see it.
Yeah. So I really appreciated that. Come on, you know.
I kind of
just
expected you
pips
to. I know what it is, and I'm going to get onto that. Yeah, I loved Asylum in Wonderland. It was. Yeah. It wasn't. Well, it doesn't matter because we don't get scared anyway. But I think just from the perspective of a really well themed house, like you say, telling the story, watching the walkthroughs again, there's a lot of. It's completely different detaching yourself watching a walkthrough video than it is actually being. It takes so much more. Monsters didn't do it for me last year at all. Watching the walkthrough last night, I'm like, I've completely missed this house walking through it. Mm-hmm. And it looked way better than I remember. I'm kind of disappointed I'll never get to walk through it again and actually appreciate it.
Through monsters.
Yeah.
Didn't we do that on our Behind the Screams tour?
Yep.
Yeah, but it didn't really... It's not the same. Not with actors in it, full show lighting and stuff. It's a completely different experience.
Okay.
But being able to watch it sat at home completely detached from the situation, you get to take it in much more than you do walking through it. These houses are complete stimulus overload. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, right, I will read Harold next. He says, Maximum Carnage is my absolute favourite. We are going back. This is from 2002 when Halloween Horror Nights was at Islands of Adventure and the caretaker was the icon. I believe they've only done 1 or 2 Halloween Horror Nights at Islands of Adventure. I think they've done 3 actually. And this house used Marvel branded heroes and villains, which is interesting. The story was the villains had defeated the heroes and basically mangled them throughout Superhero Island. The house itself was completely massive, and having people dressed as Carnage and Venom act as if they were going to attack you was awesome. They even had a possessed Punisher with a flamethrower. Awesome. This was my favourite house and my absolute favourite Halloween Horror Nights. It had wall-to-wall theming and scare actors were everywhere. There was absolutely no chill. All of the other houses were awesome as well, but something about the darker side of Marvel made it absolutely awesome. Thank you.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
From what I remember, the Scare Zone was kind of themed the same way. Obviously, we didn't do it, but from what I know, and it had like a bloody ripped up Spider-Man outfit hung over like the street lights and Captain America's shield just flung at the side with like blood stains on it. It would have been so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
You'd never ever get to see that again.
No.
No, that one is a for sure you'll never see.
Yeah.
No, definitely not. No, it's such a shame. It's weird, Islands of Adventure, how they've only ever done it a few times. I don't think it works. It doesn't. Work.
I mean, the way the park is laid out, from my memory of going when I think it was spread out between both parks in 03, right?
No, that was 04.
So 03 was only Islands of Adventure?
Yes. 04 and 05, I think. Or 2002, 3, and then 4. Anyway.
Well, from what I remember when it was in the parks, whether it was both or just one, like it always felt, for some reason, Islands didn't give you that layout needed to like have everything involved. So you can walk through a lot of the park and not feel like you're at Horror Nights. Yes. It just feels like it's turned off.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to kind of, I guess, spread out that many actors.
Yeah.
Throughout the park. For some reason, Universal, you're able to do that because you can see most of the park, from a lot of the areas inside of Universal. So I think that lends itself to it.
Yeah.
But I will say the one thing I do miss the most from Islands of Adventure, having Horror Nights, is these guys on stilts with like a bush on their head, and they'd be in the rock area by Jurassic Park, and they just shake their head and make a little noise, and everybody just gathers around them, and they just walk right in front of you. It's the best scare to watch.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Cool. Right. I shall play Kevin's, and then Michelle, we shall go to you for yours.
Hey, UUOP. It's Kevin from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. I would say it's way too hard to pick a favorite HHN house of all time, but if you really made me choose, I think I'd have to say Universal Monsters from last year's event. There was something about its grandiosity and the way it moved from monster to monster in each room that really made it a repeatable and ridiculously cool house for me. The best room of all, in my opinion, had to be the Hunchback's Bell Tower, because the mirrors that created kind of the sense of space in there is such a lo-fi, old-school theme park effect, but they used it so well, and it really felt like that room was just huge, even though it wasn't. And the Hunchback himself swinging from side to side gave me at least 2 or 3 jump scares across the probably 6 or 7 times I got to go through that house. It was also one of the houses on the Unmasking the Horror tour, which is for sure the best money I've ever spent at a theme park. And that gave me a completely deepened appreciation for how much insane detail was in that particular house, Universal Monsters, and of course the others as well. Love the podcast. I miss HHN, as we all do. Can't wait to get back next year. See ya.
Yeah. The Behind the Screams tour didn't give me a bigger appreciation of that house. Apparently sitting and watching a walkthrough of it a year later did.
Oh, God.
Money well spent. I still would like to see a Hunchback.
Yeah, I didn't see him either. But he's right.
I saw him once. It was good.
The mirror effects are so cool.
Yeah.
I would say in the Gothic section, I think it was, of Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters and Mayhem, it took me 3 runs through that house to actually figure out how that section was done. And I'm talking about leaning out of the window trying to figure it out. When, the actual
that's awesome.
sets up the top there and the mirrors. So cool.
Very clever.
Talking about effects as well, that me and Tracy commented on, and it was used in the Monsters house quite a bit, is that the scrim that's lit from one side and it's completely like a flat wall, and then when they light it from the other side, it's completely see-through.
Yeah.
That effect is so simple, but so effective.
Yeah, I love that.
Michelle, I have no idea where you're going to go.
For my favorite house?
Yes.
So, from researching for this podcast, I went back over the 5 years that I was able to attend and kind of went through all of my favorite ones. And surprisingly, HHN 27 must have been my favorite year, because it had some amazing houses. Dead Waters was there that year. The Hive, the Scarecrow one, those were all amazing houses. But my favorite, if I am Xing out Dead Waters, because we've already talked about it, my favorite would be The Fallen.
Okay.
Which was, the fallen angels.
Yeah.
And I just remember so vividly. And that was one of those timing things. Any of the effects where the character has to be harnessed into one of those contraptions that allows them to fly, it's all about timing, because it takes so long for them to switch actors out. But we happened to time it perfectly on our first walkthrough with Audrey and I. And I just remember walking through, not expecting anything. And then all of a sudden we turn to the left of us, and there's this massive angel with these huge massive black wings flying from I don't know, it felt like 20 feet high, but I'm sure it wasn't, but flying right at us. And it was flying fast, and it was incredible. And it wasn't necessarily a scare. I mean, it startled us, but Audrey and I both just stood there totally frozen in awe by what we had just witnessed. And it was just one of the most amazing moments, I think, of my HHN 5 years. It was just so beautiful. Unfortunately, when we walked through it the next time, we missed that particular scene, but the whole house was beautiful that way. So I think The Fallen does it for me.
Interesting. I expected you to say Stranger Things, I'll be honest. Not from last year, the year before.
No. I love Stranger Things, don't get me wrong, and I love those houses for sure, but as far as it a house that really affected me and that I will honestly never forget, that has to be that one.
See, that year's a year I wish I keep saying it. Scarecrow the Reaping is a house I would have been so desperate to see. I just think it would have been the equivalent of what I'm going to say is my favourite house in a minute. But yes.
That was a strong year for originals.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not fair. I want to go every year. It kills me. Michelle, would you like to read Patrick's out next, please?
Oh, Yes, I so would. Hello, UUOP. I went to Halloween Horror Nights almost yearly from 2006 to 2018 and hope to go back as soon as possible. My favorite house of all time was Winter's Night, The Haunting of Hawthorne Cemetery. This house had everything I love about Halloween Horror Nights: atmosphering, theming, details, and story. As soon as you walked into the soundstage, you felt the cold. They had snow falling on you and you were standing outside of the cemetery gates. There was a scare right off the bat as a weeping angel from Doctor Who acted as a statue with a great sound effect.
Awesome.
Walking through the house, there were so many details. There was a grave with a body trying to climb out from the floor, a cool mirror trick. The gravestones had names of Universal creative members and their families. Nice. They also had a wall crypt with references to the Brady Bunch.
Okay.
The house had a story about the gravedigger using blue lights to keep the ghosts away, and you followed the lights throughout the house.
Cool.
I was lucky that year to go to the event 4 times and loved every chance I got to go through this house. Thanks.
I think that was the first year we covered Horror Nights on the podcast. So it'll have been 2011, I think, because that was actually a year that I was like, all these houses seem really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it was. It was in Soundstage 22, wherever the hell that is. Yeah. It was the first year we covered the podcast.
Yeah.
That was it. I think it had Nightingales that year. There was a lot of originals that year, if I remember rightly.
Okay.
It's weird how that's changed with Horror Nights, how it's very much IP heavy now. Right, so all 3 of you have all picked originals. Interesting.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Especially, Chris, when you said it's the IPs that started to bring you back every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we've talked about it, me and Tracy, over the last week, like the last 2 days when we've been doing these. The originals are what really get Universal Creative to show what they can do, because they're not restrained by having to put certain things in. And I think that's what...
The way I was going to put it is the IPs, the bread and butter.
Yeah.
The originals are, I had a word in my head, are the indulgence.
Which leads me into mine.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
Well, I've said for the longest time that Jack Presents 25 Years of Monsters of Mayhem was my favourite house. Watching the walkthrough of it last night, it's still good, don't get me wrong.
Awesome.
It's awesome. But it's very disjointed. The transitions, I've come to the realisation I know very much what I want from a Halloween Horror Nights house now. A cohesive theme right the way throughout. And it's very disjointed, Jack Presents. There's no real transition. It's like, I loved House of a Thousand Corpses last year, but there's some weird transitions in that house. Those weird video wall sections are kind of odd and don't really make any sense.
I think it's like something to do with like drug references.
Possibly.
You know.
The house that I'm only burying the lead at this point for everyone listening, because everyone on here already knows, because Tracy laid blurt out earlier.
Well, I actually told Lee yesterday. I pointed it out to him.
Yeti, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Big surprise.
Like, I kind of knew it already, but watching the walkthrough last night, it is immaculately themed from the first minute you walk into that facade till you exit it at the end. There is not a dead space. There's not a black corridor. There's not a weird transition or anything through that entire house. It is amazing. I don't get scared, but I appreciate the scares. And there's some awesome ones in that. The guy who comes out and like, and then it's the door to the side of him that opens up is awesome. And it was Chris, you pointed that out to me. I'd never seen that, and we made sure that I think it was the first RIP run through to stop and hold back a little bit for that. The arm coming down, the Yeti above you, the hand through the guy's chest is the best thing ever. And watching the walkthrough last night, because we know that it's the actor who gets his hand put through his chest. It's his arm, not the Yeti arm, obviously. But the Yeti... Yeah, but there could have been a way that... Anyway.
Death,
so
and resurrection,
when you watch it, the Yeti's not there, and he comes out and realised that he's missing an arm. I never noticed that until we watched the walkthrough last night. He's like, he references like, oh, look, I haven't got an arm there. The Yeti comes out behind him and then through the middle. It's awesome. I mean, yes, it was... Like, I think it'll always be it'll be very fond in my memory anyway, knowing that it was the last house we did last year. I've said this millions of times. I said it when we talked to Charles Gray last week. It was the last house we did on our RIP tour at like 1:30 in the morning. There was nobody in front of us. There was nobody behind us. And we got to stop at every single set piece and see that house exactly as you want to see it.
Yep.
But
it was awesome.
Is exactly what I want from a Halloween Horror Nights house. It is perfect. It is perfect. So if anyone from the creative team is listening, that's the bar you've set. See if you can beat it next year. It was awesome. I love it.
The Revenge of the Yeti.
I remember when we did our hype list with Julie last year, Chris, Tracy, obviously Michelle, you were there. I was the only one that kind of said that Yeti snuck up on me the more we kind of talked about it. And I think it was like, it might have been 2 or 3 or 4 on my hype list. Like if they get the cold right, and you were all like, oh, no, it sounds a bit naff, it might be a bit crappy. I knew from my first run through last year that it was going to be my favourite house last year, and it just got better every run through.
Yes,
Yeah.
it did.
Even when we got stuck in there with the hand.
Awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Right. Tracy, do you want to wrap us up with your good friend's favourite house?
My good friend, you know my second husband?
If that's what you want to call him.
Like the Grinch rode in.
No, that's a first husband.
Yeah. This is from lovely Chris Azell. Hello, Chris. Miss you. He says, for me, Seeds of Extinction was probably my favourite house. It was definitely an underrated house, plus it was a stay and scream house that no one went to. I usually ended up being the only person in the line, so my first run of the night was a solo run. That is so cool. That nightly solo Terror Fest seared itself into my memory as the scariest experience at Halloween Horror Nights I've ever had. I know that during the rest of the night it was a lower tier house, but the runs I had were second to none. That is awesome.
That's what I love about Halloween Horror Nights, though. Like, everyone can have a different opinion
Yeah.
Yep.
on what's their favourite house.
Yep. And everybody's opinion's valid.
Yeah. Like, most people didn't like Rum. We loved it.
Yep.
Chris loved Depths of Fear last year. We all thought it was crap.
Yeah.
I liked it too.
It was good at the end.
What, coming out?
Yeah, right at the end as you left it. It was weird. We watched the run through last night and it was weird.
But
it was weird. It was very strange.
It felt like it should have been something else.
It was just odd.
You're just odd.
Well, I know
You
that.
like
To
to
tell
like fish
everyone
people.
something they don't already know.
Maybe I liked it because I could keep my eyes open during it. Okay, so I don't know.
Oh, Michelle.
So what was Seeds of Extinction? Remind me.
We didn't do it.
No, obviously,
it was
I know
like
that.
2018 or
I'm trying
something.
to remember.
It was like the plants had took
Plants
over.
took over.
It was very bushy. I remember there was like a school bus in front of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
And
okay.
Right.
There were like you couldn't really. The thing that was good about that one is you couldn't really always tell where the scare actors were
Yes,
because there was
'cause
just so much plants everywhere, and you didn't know what was real and what was a scare actor.
Like everybody was wearing ghillie suits.
Tracy
Yeah.
loves a ghillie suit.
Oh, yeah. That does get me.
Yes, they do. Every time at
Yeah.
Scream Factory, every year.
Every year.
Even in the same friggin' place.
Yeah, so the whole house was like that. Like you couldn't really tell
Oh, that would be
what was
awesome.
about to jump out at you.
Oh, I think I would like that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, it's been nice to reminisce about Halloween Horror Nights.
It has.
It has, actually.
It
I've
has.
really enjoyed it. We probably could have
Yeah.
rattled on for longer and longer and longer, but
You reckon? Wow.
this is going to just about... I think this will probably be the last Horror Nights episode we do this year, actually. Sadly.
It is
So-
come and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about the date, yeah.
That is going to wrap it up, I guess. Thanks everyone for joining us. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a really good chat, actually. I've had a bit of a miserable day today. I've been in a bit of a funk the last couple of days, and I've really enjoyed this. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
So, of course, that is going to wrap up another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. We are getting very close to the end of the year. We will wrap up, as we always do, with another listener submitted Universal Is, and this one was sent in to us by Benny Batcave, or Batcave as we've dubbed him. Of course, if you want to get involved, all you've got to do is drop us an email to podcast@uuopodcast.com, letting us know what you think Universal is in 3 words or less. And to end the show, Benny says, Universal is an epic universe. See you next week.
Guess that wraps things up for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. You guys did all right. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest, keyword UUO Podcast. Listen and subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, or anywhere podcasts are found. You can find our blog at uuopodcast.com. Send us your spews, which Lou gets your poo recordings, questions, or comments to podcast@uuopodcast.com. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, and our awesome sponsors, Mouse and Muggle Travel Company. So, until next time, don't give up your day job. Say cheese! See you later!